try and be quick doing this because little one is on her own unsupervised and she is not to be trusted. It's been a while. It's been a little while. I've been going through I was going to say a slump. It's more of I don't know, can you call it a buried alive? I've sunk that low with my reading that I almost have to climb out of a coffin to get back to a slump. It's the sun, it's 35 degrees here and I'm melting, my brain is melting with it. Anyway, this is a different video. Now, this partially is the reason for my reading slump. I have had 3 DNFs within the last 4 books that I've read. So this is a DNF episode. Now, there are different reasons behind each of these, which I will quickly and briefly explain to you. So this is the first book that I tried to read, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Now, my wife adored this book, and I saw that my friend Alexia liked this book, and my KU subscription was running out, so I thought I'll give it a shot. It's like 700 pages or something around there. And I have to be honest, it was my kind of humour. But I got to the 40% mark and my KU ran out, so I was unable to finish it. But I found myself not really bothered by that. So it's more of a DNF by circumstance. But if you place the book in front of me now and said to me, there you go, you can finish the rest, I'd probably go, nah, you're all right, thanks. I'll move on. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad book. It was just, for me, the pacing was off because it's a 600, 700 page book. I got over 200 pages in and nothing had really happened. There was a lot of banter, a lot of the kind of stuff you would love to say. If you work in retail, you'll know all about that. I've spent most of my working life in retail, and I can promise you I would love to have beaten some people to death with a baseball bat whilst cursing them out. But it was just too slow for me. So I probably would have DNF'd it anyway, but yeah, so that's the reasons behind that. Moving on, the second book I DNF'd was this one. It's the first of the Killing Eve books. Now, I've never watched the show. I've always wanted to, I've just never got around. It's one of those things that's always on your to-watch list, and you never get around to it. My wife devoured the whole series, as you would expect. She was obsessed with everything to do with that show. The characters, the program itself, the setting, the actors who played all the characters, every single piece she's obsessed with. And she read the books and she enjoyed the books. Personally, I thought the book was rubbish. I'm not sugarcoating it. It was terrible. How they managed to get a popular award-winning TV series out of these books mystifies me, because I got halfway through and I was bored to death. There's no plot, at least not in the sections that I read. There's no discernible plot. It's like an incident happens, we move on. An incident happens, we move on. And it was too disconnected for me. Like, there was no thread weaving cautiously through each chapter. It just, yeah. And the dialogue was too much of an info dump. Yeah. So I dropped that. I honestly don't know how they got such a good show out of that. They literally must have just chosen the character names and their background and then said, yeah, that'll do. We'll make the rest up. But again, this is from someone who hasn't seen the show yet. But the book was shit. And then I read a good book, which I'll do a separate review for, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And then yesterday I DNF'd another book. It was an arc I was given in January, February, and I never got around to it. And it was this one, Killer Vocals. Now, I want to make it plain. I loved Europea Halls. All 3 of those were fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed those, which made me sign up for the ARC team for the Namaste Slasher. I read that. I thought it was okay, but it was a bit of a weaker showing than the previous trilogy that I'd read. So I finally got around to starting this the other night. I got 40% of the way through it, and I just had to put it down. I don't want to be cruel, but it was just too cringy for me. Like, they have these young girls who are auditioning for a band, and the band members are being picked off one by one, essentially is the concept of the story. But they're in Sarajevo, and one of the characters, who would never say stuff like this, I'm sure in reality, just gives you an info dump on the history of the area, like in dialogue, and it doesn't really work for me. And the amount of times, and I'm not sugarcoating this, the amount of times I read the words, it's giving whatever, it's giving this, in a very short space of writing, I was like, it's giving DNF, and I put it down. So I apologise to Alan for that, because as I say, I adored the Europea trilogy, and Namaste was okay, but I just couldn't read through this. I'm sorry, I did try, but I had to put it down. It was just too cringy for me. As an almost 40-year-old man, I'm very out of touch with all of this stuff, so it naturally makes me cringe. So yeah, 3 DNFs out of the last 4 books, which is not good for me, but I did read a good one, and I want to tell you about it because I really enjoyed it. So stay tuned for that one.